couple big plays early. How did you get you guys to settle down?
Well, the one thing we reminded about them, and we're going to do it again, we did not have a good practice on Tuesday. We came out lethargic, and that's the way we started the game. And at the same time, to answer your question, bottom line was nothing changed. Just get back to basics. Don't try to do anything other than your job, and give great effort. And the players were talking positive to each other. And telling each other, what had just transpired, it wasn't acceptable, and then we ended up playing much better as the game progressed.
You happy you won't be seeing Yancey anymore in the future years? I think he's a senior.
Yeah, he's a heck of a receiver, and he's a big kid, a good route runner, big and strong, and I hope. Did he come back? I don't know. I saw him go down. I hope nothing happened to him.
He's playing the ends, and
he was in there at the end.
Yeah, is that right? Okay, well that was good. I appreciate him.
What kind of adjustments did you make? It looked like you guys were able to slow down that passing attack.
Yeah, the one thing, we were misplaying their bunch set in man and zone coverage, and we just went over it. They gave us a couple new routes. We had seen 3 different routes out of that earlier in previous games, and then they came out with a couple new ones, and the wrinkles were good. They anticipated, man coverage in some of those situations, and we just started changing up a little bit man zone, and the players did a nice job making the adjustments.
What happened on that long pass play they had?
The very first one, the corner tried to make a play on the ball way too early, just over anxious. Both safeties stepped up against the rush, against the run, and they should have just then bailed out and played what we call set and transfer, filled up the middle. But the bottom line was, the corner should have just played over the top of that and been patient. And it was the same thing when they scored the touchdown on that 2-yard route. We try to, make a play. We drove the quarterback with our eyes rather than the receiver, and he just ran a little pivot out. And then the other touchdown, our seam player should have been sitting right in that area where that in route was thrown. Instead, for whatever reason, on a check flat, he ended up breaking on it. I don't know what he saw. It was just a mistake by a player that doesn't usually make mistakes like that.
What is it about this team in the fourth quarter? You guys seem to shut down the opposing offense.
I don't know. I don't want to figure it out, but I hope it continues.
Wisconsin next. Any thoughts about how you guys look at this team?
Well, I think Wisconsin's one of the better teams in the country. Very, very physical. They're going to pound the run at you. They'll probably have 1, maybe 2 different runs, and that's about it. But it's a big physical team that great play action passes off of the run, and then also 2 quality quarterbacks. I saw a little bit of the game today. Can throw the ball deep. Paul Christ, very familiar with him, obviously, a good friend. We were, on the same team for many years together, coaching together and coaching against each other, actually, in spring balls and things like that. So he and the rest of his staff do a great job, and they've got a great scheme, and it'll be a heck of an environment going down there to Wisconsin.
Mark, was what you did against the run to your liking, run defense to your liking?
Yeah, if they ran the ball against us, it would have been a real problem. They had given up on the run in some of the previous games because they had gotten behind so early. But it looked like we did a good job. We'll see. I don't know what they tried to do. I know they came with a couple different things, but maybe once each time they never came back to it, which was surprising. But maybe they thought also they had success throwing the ball, so. That's what they ended up doing. But anytime a team's one-dimensional, it makes it a little bit easier.
The celebration after Kyron Williams' interception, is that freestyle, or is that some moves that you have practiced?
No, I was a little upset because, he left me hanging there and went to one of his teammates instead, and then at least he made up and gave me a big hug. I had the safeties over the other night for dinner, and I thought maybe it was bad food or something. I mean, my wife did a heck of a job preparing, and I personally grilled the steaks. And but no, that was just we were just messing around right there, having a good time.
What'd you think of the linebacker play overall?
I don't, I don't know specifics. All in all, I mean, as a team, obviously, once we got past, the first quarter for the most part, I thought just overall defensively we just played smarter, we played better, and then obviously if people aren't running the ball, the backers are doing a good job, and they also played an integral part in the passing game too. Some underneath coverage on the inside and some things like that, and the ball had to go outside to be thrown.
Mark, when did Kyron kind of truly win that other safety job? And when did you kind of feel good about this season? When did you kind of feel good about kind of what he was going to give you?
Well, Kyron's been a guy in our history together that, I always took notice of him because of the fact that he was always around the office looking at film. And in fact, there's sometimes I'd be trying to shoo him away because I'm trying to get my work done, and he was moving on yet to another edit, and I'd have to make him another edit. And I mean, that was good. At the same time, the results for him weren't happening on the field, and it was frustrating from that standpoint to see that happen to the young man. And then, he stayed with it. He improved some things mentally that needed to just transfer from the classroom to the field, and then. What we've done is everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses, and he's learned to play to his strengths, and his weaknesses, just know what they are, and try to make them positives.
Was there a fall camp point? Do you remember where?
It was probably more. It was actually a little bit more of the spring. What he did was he took a great advantage of the fact that the other two safeties, Antonio Reed and Eric Williams. Aaron Williams, that was the previous Williams. Aaron Williams was, they were out, and Aaron came back halfway through, and he couldn't, go all the time, and he had that many more reps. And then in fall camp, we just made it a competition, and and the way kind of things sort out, he's on the field anyhow because Aaron ends up being the nickel. So. As long as he and anybody else like him continues to improve and play hard and work hard, they'll be rewarded as far as playing time.
After you get that pick on the first play of the game, was there any sense of relaxation or this one's going to be?
No, because of the fact that the guy that picked the ball was supposed to be deep with a receiver that was running down the field all by himself. How about that? So I remember telling those guys, I said, hey, now listen, I got you, but we just used up our one of our chips. I don't know how many we have today, but that's one right there.
For a couple minutes.
And that wasn't why we gave up the touchdown. We just gave up the touchdown because of poor play.